Hey guys, you don't want to miss this episode of Me Victoria with Caleb Shaw. We're taking the field with the UHV Jaguars. Find out if I hit a home run or strike out. Let's tune in. Thanks, ladies.
When you think digital marketing, think ThriveFuel. Websites, social media marketing, advertising, and much more. ThriveFuel is professional digital marketing.
Welcome to Meet Victoria, where we'll get to know the people, businesses, and heroes that make this community special. I'm Caleb Shaw, owner of Shaw Realty and your host. Now let's go meet Victoria. Hey Coach, I'm Caleb Shaw. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Coach C. I'm the assistant coach out here. We're excited to have you here.
Well, I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm anxious to get in here. Y'all got a few things planned for me?
Yeah, we're gonna work on our quarterbacks. We'll put you in for some bunts, some live hitting, put you out in the outfield, get you some infield work. It's gonna be a fun day. We're excited to see.
You're gonna make sure I hit a grand slam too, right?
I'm gonna make sure you try hard.
Fair enough. Let's go hit it.
Yeah.
Do this. All right. So it's really not even ringing. Look at that. Look at this kid. Sorry, my fault. All right. I got real nervous on that, not gonna lie. God, thank God. Wait, what did you... That was awesome. So you run this first and second. Right. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, thank you. My third grade catch? Yeah! But I got it. Good throw. I'm kidding. I'm still kidding. Okay.
Victory is the king of Kias. Isn't that right, Caroline?
That's no bull, Papa.
Just check out this all-new 2022 Kia Forte. It has standout styling, great fuel economy, and a lifetime powertrain warranty. And what do we do to the prices at Victory?
Grab 'em, Papa.
Yes, to be the king of Kias, we're selling this new 2022 Kia Forte for just $179 a month. Remember, we're clobbering the competition at Victory Kia on the Navarro Motor Mile in Victoria.
Welcome to Furniture Warehouse Direct. I've got lots of furniture that we've just set back out. If you're needing something right away, come into the store, check it out. You can take right off the floor. We have Simmons Beauty Rest, Simmons Hybrid, and we have Simmons Beauty Rest Black. Our selection of bedroom sets right now, solid wood. We have some with self-closing drawers. We still carry a little bit of everything. We're budget friendly for every budget. We have financing options. We have leasing options. Check us out at FurnitureWarehouseDirect.com, and we're at 2110 John Stockbauer in Victoria, Texas.
All right, we are back with my friend here. For those that don't know you, my brother, please introduce yourself and let you know what. Please introduce yourself and let them know what position you have.
Ashley Walyuchow, Director of Athletics at the University of Houston, Victoria.
Well, first off, thanks so much for setting all this up, man. I'm gonna have some bruises probably and a strained neck and all this.
But they'll run you through the ringer.
They put me through the ringer, but they did it in a good way, and I had a ton of fun doing it. And they, all joking aside, they were actually really good to me, and it was a ton of fun. And I'm grateful you set all this up. But I wanted to talk about the UHV Athletics here in town because to me it's a shame that we have collegiate sports going on in this town and these stands aren't packed and we don't have a packed community out here supporting you guys. And so thank you again for setting me up with these, but let's talk about the athletic programs. How many different team sports do you all have right now?
We've got 6. Obviously softball, baseball, those are the first 2 sports we started, and then we added men's and women's soccer, men's and women's golf 2 years later.
What is your biggest sport right now from a community perspective as far as support?
That's a hard one to gauge because it can be measured so many different ways. Baseball draws our biggest crowds, and probably the biggest gate revenue and things like that. But our softball team's very active in the community. Soccer finds ways to give a lot back. Golf with our smallest numbers, probably not as active or as visible, I should say, but we've got a very avid golf community and they really support our golf program and our other athletic programs as well. So, depending on how you measure it, depends on kind of which sport.
No, that makes sense. What can we do as a community to better support you all? One of the things, all joking aside, we pulling muscles and all this out here, they were supportive of me and they all wanted to see me succeed out here and have fun. How do we do that as a community to return the favor?
I think it's building it back to where things were pre-COVID. I don't like to use that as an excuse, but last year all our games were played with no fans as a condition of being able to play, and that made it difficult. This year we're back to having fans, coming out to the games. We've got to do a little bit better job of marketing them. But I think what people don't realize is at the college level, state funds cannot be used for athletics. So we rely on dollars raised to help our program, and that's what's key.
Didn't know that.
As the cost of education goes up, we need more scholarship dollars to help recruit and bring in, not just better athletes, but better students.
Right.
That's the huge part of the equation in Victoria, because we've had one kid drafted in 15 years of doing this. Our kids are graduating and going on into careers other than what their sports are. They may be related in some way. Some get into coaching, some may work in athletics in some form, but they're not playing their sport professionally. But their sport is giving them a vehicle to their degree. And that's the important thing. That's what it's all about. And we're competitive. We win conference championships. We compete for national championships. Softball last year made our first run ever to the College World Series. So we can compete, but more scholarship dollars will help us get over that hump.
Well, these ladies dusted me. I'll be very clear about that. Like they put.
I expected nothing less.
Yeah, they put it to me. How can we follow like myself, I was guilty of not knowing that a college soccer team played 10 feet from my house, right in my backyard, but now I do. For the general public, how can they follow these? First, how can they find the teams? Yep. Secondly, how can they follow them and make sure that when there's a game or a playoff or just anything that they're there to support them?
UHVJaguars.com is our website, and all the information, schedules, and all that is there. We're in the process of looking for a new sports information person, so once that person's hired, that traffic or that website will be more robust. Our social media will be more robust, so it'll be easier to find what our student athletes are accomplishing and when we're playing and where we're playing.
Good deal. Well, thank you again for setting this up. I mean, this, like I said, they've been spectacular. They've kicked my butt, but they've helped me at the same time, and it's been great to see the level of talent that we have out here, right here in Victoria.
I think that's one thing that surprises folks is when they come out and see the level of talent. We're in the NAIA, the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, and people view that as, well, you're not the NCAA. Well, no, we're not the University of Texas or Texas A&M, but we compete with and play against and do very well in NAIA competition, but also against some of the NCAA Division I, Division II schools that we play. Softball plays Texas Southern every year, and it's always a good series. Baseball, until recently with scheduling issues, used to play Corpus Christi A&M in baseball. Soccer will play some Division II and Division III schools. Our golf team goes and competes in tournaments with Division II and Division I schools and other NAIA schools, and we always hold our own. The level of talent and ability will surprise those who don't really know.
Well, and if you get a supportive community behind you all, that only makes everything better, because then you bring in better talent, more support, all the good stuff that goes along with it. So
well, and the community, when they support it, those student athletes stay here. I'm surprised at the number of student athletes that have stuck around, that have come from the Houstons and the Dallases and the bigger cities, and they kind of got here and were like, well, it's, Victoria's kind of small. And then 4 years later, it's endeared themselves to them and them to the community, and here they are raising families, forging careers in Victoria. That's the benefit to Victoria that athletics can bring, is we've got an educated workforce with students that are in the community already as part of going to school here and giving back, and they make those commitments and those connections, and now they're in Victoria for the rest of their lives, and that's huge to growing this community.
No, I could not agree more, and yeah, you want to go to this town. Everybody always says there's nothing to do here. Come check out the collegiate, grow the collegiate athletics program, and this town will grow.
Nothing to do, but we play 60 to 80 home games a year between soccer, baseball, softball, and hosting a couple of golf tournaments. So there's lots to do if you want to come out and watch high quality collegiate athletics.
Yes, sir. I could not agree more. Well, once again, thank you so much for setting this up. We're going to go talk to the coach now and get a few more things. I may get beat up a little bit more by him, but
I hope so.
Yeah, I deserve every bit of it. But no, thank you for setting this up, and guys, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back. Young lady, if you wouldn't mind, please introduce yourself and let them know who you are.
I'm Mac Christensen. I'm the assistant coach at the University of Houston, Victoria.
Good. Well, before we go on, thank you.
Of course.
I don't know if I should thank you or what yet. No, I'll just thank you. I've had a ton of fun. I'm definitely going to be sore tomorrow. I found out I'm not 20 anymore.
Yeah.
These young ladies, they put it to me pretty good. They were all super nice about the beat downs they gave me, but they beat me down nonetheless. And I was blown away by the level of talent out here. They all have great attitudes, but they're talented, and they're making it happen out here. And I think it's outstanding to have this in our backyard, and I think it's huge that the community needs to come out and support you all. How big is your team?
We have 20 people on our roster right now.
Roger, and how many can be on the field at one time?
We can have 9 people on the field, but you can have 1 alternate that can hit for you. So 10 people can be involved in the game at any time.
Gotcha. And roughly how many games do you all have in a season?
This year we got a new conference schedule, so we'll probably end up with like 30 to 35 in a regular season. We got a lot of rain outs, a lot of snow outs in the early season. So
yeah, weather's been a little wild this year, hadn't it? Where are you guys at right now in your season?
We only have 2 more games left for our regular season.
Gotcha.
And those are tomorrow.
Gotcha. Well, I know you're going to do well, and even by the time this show airs, the season may be over and all this, but
hopefully not. Hopefully we're in postseason.
Does it keep going? Okay. Well, then I'm not jinxing you by any means. Then, of course you're going to be going there. That's just me not knowing the schedule. But I want to make sure that we start showing up to support you all. Where do you play the games at?
The Victoria Youth Complex.
Okay, that's where the games are played. Where can they get, and we asked about this a little bit, but is there a place that they can go to watch the Jaguars softball team, or do y'all have your own Facebook page or anything?
We do have a team Twitter, UHV Softball. We don't have any other streaming or social media just yet, but we're still working on it. We're an NAIA school, so we're still trying to get our feet under us and get out in the community in that way.
Gotcha. How did you end up being a coach out here?
In Victoria?
Yes, ma'am.
It's actually a funny story. When I finished with my master's degree, I had applied for this position and got the offer, and I actually turned it down because I had an opportunity to go play in Australia. So I went and I played in Australia.
Until they got all weird with all the COVID stuff. I probably would have gone there with
Right.
you.
So I did that for a year, and then I came back, and the assistant coach they hired instead of me ended up finding a head job. So Coach Ortiz reached back out, and she's like, still want you. So then I applied and got back down here.
Wow, well, we're glad to have you here. Have you had any standout athletes this year that have been award winners, or anybody that, while we got a few cameras set up, that we could give a little extra special recognition to?
Yeah, we have a super senior, Ashley Reyna. She is she was our first baseman. She's moved to outfield now just to move the defense around, but she actually broke our record for doubles in a season, or career doubles actually.
Yeah, and what, for a guy like me that doesn't know baseball or softball, what is a double?
Oh, just hit the ball and you get to second base.
Gotcha. Oh, you know, I knew that. I knew that. You know.
Yeah, of course, right?
Yeah, sure. You know. So no, I'm just kidding. But from somebody that's never been to a Jaguar softball game, what do we need to tell them? How do we get them out here? What are they missing?
Man, it's a high energy, it's a fast-paced game, so it makes it much more fun to be a part of and to watch. There's not really any downtime. There's lots of cheering, lots of energy, and so it just makes it more fun than your average baseball game that takes 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right? Like
yes, they can be awful slow, and those 3 6-hour games, 3 to 6 hour games. Yes, I think this all went fast, and maybe it's just because I'm old and slow, but everybody was moving super fast out here, and yeah, I was barely keeping up. Anything I'm forgetting that we need to talk about?
Man, I don't know. I think we would just love some community support to come out. You know, this is the highest level of softball that we have in the community, and these girls come in, they work hard every day, and we made it to the World Series last year. We're hoping to make it back this year, so some community support would be great.
Outstanding. So we need to pack the stands for them, guys. So when you see this episode, if the season is still going, come out, finish their final game, supporting them. If not, get your plan. It gives you plenty of time for next season to get ahead of the curve and be ready to pack the stands and support them. And thank you for today. I had so much fun. I know I'm not a softball player now, and there's a reason I just do shows and talk a lot instead of flipping and flopping all over the place like I was, but you made it special. I appreciated you all letting me crash, and thank you so much. Guys, make sure you support them. Make sure you back them. They've earned it. We'll be right back.
I think most people in our hometown Victoria think that world-class healthcare is only accessible in the bigger city. We have a highly trained staff of physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, specialty physicians that provide every level of care that's required. The majority of our patients do return to the home setting. Everything we do is geared around that. So why go elsewhere when you can get world-class care right here in your hometown?
All right, we are back. Young lady, if you wouldn't mind, please introduce yourself.
My name is Ashley Reyna.
And how long have you been playing softball?
I've been playing softball since I was 13.
And I won't ask you how old you are now. We'll just go with that. But I hear you are an award winner. Tell me about that.
I mean, it's really great. I mean, all the years that I've been here, UHV softball, I made my mark, so I have no regrets in all the 5 years I've been here.
So putting in that work, winning that award, it means something special to you then, huh?
Yes, it really does. I mean, I put in a lot of work for it, so I'm really glad like it shows.
Absolutely. Well, I know the team appreciated you and they lifted you up and they were very proud of you. And I just want to say thank you, and you're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
All right, we are back. Young lady, what's your name, please?
My name is Zoe Miranda.
And where are you from?
Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth. How long have you been playing softball that it brought you all the way down here to Victoria?
17 years.
17 years? How long have you been on the Jaguars?
3 years.
So that puts you as a junior? Is that how that works?
No, I'm actually a super senior. I started at Navarro College up in Corsicana. So.
Oh, that's cool. So, yeah, so you get to, I don't even know how that works. You squeeze out a little extra playing time and get to make your mark, huh?
Well, it's a JUCO, so it's 2 years, and then I came here to finish out my extra 2 years, and then COVID hit, so then we got an extra one.
Oh, well, I guess that's kind of cool-ish. I don't really know how to respond to that, so okay. What are the fans missing about Jaguar softball that they need to know about?
We're really exciting to watch. I mean, we have a lot of cheers. We're really involved in every game, and I think it's really fun to come out and watch us, especially when there's a lot of fans. It's not as noisy as when there's not like a lot of fans, but when it's there, like the energy is really there. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Gotcha. And what position do you play?
I play first base.
First base. All right. Well, young lady, thank you so much. Thanks for taking good care of me out there. All right. Before I go any further, thanks for all the help you gave me today. I needed a whole bunch of it, and you were there to help me the whole time. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. On that note, what is your name for those that don't know you, please?
My name is Jackie Longoria.
And what position do you play?
I'm a pitcher and outfielder.
And how long you been playing softball?
This is my 5th year here at the school, but I've been playing since I was like 5 or 6.
Where are you from?
I'm from Edinburgh, Texas.
Got it. Well, for those that have never seen a Jaguar softball game, what are they missing out on?
I mean, it's a bunch of crazy, wild roller coaster. We're very hyped, I'm not going to lie. We try to make it as fun as possible in the dugout with our girls cheering and trying to hype up each other on the field as much as we can and just giving it our all as much as we can. And it's mostly for ourselves and for the fans and for everybody.
Well, that was one thing that I did notice about you all is the team camaraderie. Like you guys, that was like unlike anything I have ever seen, where you all were just cheering nonstop for each other, even in a practice setting where that support for each other was intense, and you guys are trying to bring out the best in each other. And so I picked up on that in between falling down and all of that stuff, that you guys really had each other's back out there, and you even cheered for me some too.
Yes.
And so what else do people need to know about Jaguar softball? Yeah, if I can spit that out.
Just that we're really close. We're a family. I mean, we try to do the best we can for our community and for our school, mostly for ourselves because we really are sisters, and just try to take it game by game and hopefully make it back to the World Series like we did last year.
Would it mean a lot having Victoria and the community support you all and show up at the games and pack the stands? Would it mean a lot to have that support from the community and see them out there at you all's games that you work so hard to play at?
Definitely. I feel like when we hype each other up, we feed off of it. So when we have a bigger crowd, we feed off of their energy too. So I really would think that more people coming out would really help us out a lot.
Good deal. Well, one more time, young lady, thank you so much for taking care of me. I'm going to be sore tomorrow. I'm going to feel hurts in places I hadn't felt them before, but you really helped me out there, so I'm very grateful. Guys, we had a ton of fun. They did an amazing job taking care of me. Make sure you get out, support the Jaguars, check them out. They've got all sorts of different athletics, but I'm partial to the softball players now. We're buds. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you at the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in to Meet Victoria with Caleb Shaw. If you haven't done so already, make sure you comment below, share the videos. Really helps the algorithms. Also, make sure you like the page, follow the page. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, if you want to be featured on Meet Victoria, shoot us a message. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, make sure you support our great sponsors. We could not do this without them, and we're grateful and blessed to have them. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you at the next one.